So as you can see from the title of the video, this one is dunno why not, big night out fragrances. It's March, it's not a particularly festive part of the year. Not a right lot happens. I suppose it's St. Patrick's Day, isn't there? It's not particularly wedding season because it's cold and snowy. It's not Easter this year, so it's just big night out fragrances for March. You know, that wild party month apparently. But you know what I mean, it's something I've not done for a while. And we all like a good night out, or did when we used to have energy and stuff. So yeah, that's all it is. Pointless waffle as usual at the beginning. Let's get into it. So first is, you know, you're looking at a classy night out here. You know, a works do, an award ceremony. You might not go full tux. You might, you know, have a shirt, white shirt, your suit open, and you know, some casual shoes on there, with some Converse or whatever with them. So you're looking smart but trendy and kind of stylish. It's a big event, you've got to make the right sort of impression. So I'm going to go for Dior Homme Parfum. I'm not going to get into it before anyone says otherwise. This video will be 2 hours long. We're talking proper Dior Homme Parfum here, right? The original formulation. Not that reformulation that came 3 years ago or whatever, and was kinda there, but a poor imitation. And I haven't smelt the new version. I know it smells nothing like Dior Homme Parfum. So be it. We're talking about the real deal here, right? So it's this bed of dark, smooth, lovely, soft kind of leather. The iris, everyone says lipsticky, floral to me. And I know it's an imagined thing in your mind because iris flowers don't smell. But it smells like a flower. It's more of a flower iris. There is that kind of waxy lipstick touch to it. Again, from that, there's a powderiness from the rose, which a lot of people don't seem to get. But I get a pink hue powderiness around it all. And then you've got the stunning kind of musks that are there, and it just smells so sophisticated and classy. This is, you're going to be dressed this kind of casual smart way for this event, but people are going to be like sniffing your neck and going all weak at the knees and stuff. It's magnificent, but it's a more of a kind of measured big night out, if you know what I mean. So that's Dior Homme Parfum. Next is a gifted fragrance, obviously, you know, we've all got to say that. It's from Aqualis and it's called Triptych. I think that's how you say it. But basically what this one is it kind of opens with these ouds. There's 2, maybe 3 ouds in there. And you've got this kind of, you do get this little bit of a kind of naughty, tiny bit of funk. Tiny bit of kind of your cheesy oud. Tiny bit with the kind of a little fecal element, not much, goes really quick, it's not even worth mentioning. And then you just get all the ouds come through, these kind of really smooth, lovely, elegant woody ones. But there's a lot of woody in this as well, and there's also a benzoin or a vanilla giving it this kind of smoothed off edge where it's not gourmand, but from that kind of very edgy kind of opening, it becomes this enveloping, pure, utter class. The ouds are magnificent. A big night out. This is, you're talking, you know, you're off to sign your contract in Oman. You know, you're off there to basically sell the world down the river. You know, you're going to sign some oil deals. But you're this big I am. You're wearing this tight fitted Armani suit. You know, you don't care about anything. You slap seals and pandas. Like, you know, you don't like anything. You basically ride peasants to the event. You're that sort of person. Obviously you've got all the money in the world, so you're going to smell absolutely magnificent. Do I feel like a peasant slapper when I'm wearing this one? Not quite, but I do certainly feel very elegant and dressed up. And like I say, this is for an event where there's a lot of money and a lot of power. It is just so beautifully made. It is elegant, classy. I can't remember who perfume it is. A big perfumer. Rounded off. It's got this warmth, this kind of snuggliness in it. Dries down with a kind of that vanillic benzoin-y patchouli, but still with them ouds lingering. It's a magnificent fragrance. So that's Triptych from Aqualis. Next, we're going to go for a less kind of serious thing. This is Kayali's Pink Diamond Pink Pepper, Diamond Pink Pepper, whatever it's called. You know, I'll never learn these names. And what this one is it's kind of a little bit of a nod to my favourite, Noir de Noir, but it's a much sweeter, more playful, kind of youthful version. Everything's kind of rounded off. It's this beautiful sweet rose with a kind of dark but sweet patchouli. I think there might be some oud accord in this. There's a woodiness. Obviously there's pink pepper, which makes it sparkle. So it's like a pink Noir de Noir, I think. Not necessarily as dark or as sophisticated or as vampirical as that. This is more your Twilight kind of gothy vampire kind of thing. And it is that kind of party. I imagine, you know, I don't know why, I don't understand American culture quite obviously. But this is kind of one of them, you know, what do they call them? Them university parties. You have weird names, don't you? Where, you know, all the guys turn up in their kind of them weird jackets and t-shirts and all the lasses are practically in cheerleader outfits. Hey boy, hey girl.
Good boy.
It's that kind of a party, you know, and everyone's having a good time. They're drinking kind of
come on,
punch from a bowl, which is probably just Sunny Delight. But it's got, you know, it's grown up. It's still got a bit of a kind of elegant sophistication about it. I wasn't saying it hasn't, but it's very nice. It's very easy to wear and it's fun. That's what that point I was getting to. So for a kind of fun, youthful, you know, just becoming an adult kind of party, is Kayali's Pink Diamond Pink Pepper Diamond thing. So next on the list is from One Way Bridge, and that's Top Shelf.
Yeah.
Now this is one I speak about a lot. This is a big night out, but this is
Charlie.
Everything about this fragrance is you've just finished work. You know, you work very hard, you get hot and sweaty in the day, your chest hair curls are coming out from your little unbuttoned shirt there, sweating, you know, you're glistening with sweat, you sprayed on just whatever, and now you're going to some local bar, you know, where all the steel workers hang out and the lumberjacks, and you're just drinking this hard sweet liquor, beer, and it all fills the air, and it all fills their hair and their pores, and they just smell of this magnificent kind of naughty, grisly, hairy, but soft and gentle kind of person, you know. They've just been working hard, that's all. It's got that kind of big night vibe. You know, it's Friday, you've all clocked out for a couple of days. You've just gone to let your hair down and have a good time. And it's that kind of feel about it. What's in it? There's like boozy notes and stuff. There's this kind of genuinely human, kind of naughty, little bit sweaty muskiness about it. It's not overwhelming. It's not, you know, it's not pure filth. It's not like sniffing someone's armpit. But it's got that kind of nod in there which really works with the booze. There's a kind of very distinctive smell that we've all probably smelt. It's quite intoxicating in magic. So that's Top Shelf from One Way Bridge. Next is Masque Milano's Ray-flection. Now I think we all know where I'm going with this one. Bright, luminous mimosa. The kind of, I always say it, osmanthus. It's kind of got this sweet peachiness in there, okay? But just a little gentle touch with the massive mimosa. There may well be a lang adding to this kind of sunshiny thing. There's these kind of soapy aldehydes. There's also a kind of fizzy, bright, uplifting aldehydic kind of touch to it. There's a lot of musk, like big, booming, bright musks. It's just, I mean, you can't really see that, but it's strobe lights, it's bright lights, it's bright t-shirts, it's everyone having a good time. It's a proper happy hardcore rave, you know, that kind of thing. It's just utterly magnificent and bright and fun and happy. You remember them happy hardcore smiley faces you used to get back in the kind of 90s and what have you, on t-shirts? That's what this fragrance is, and it just has so much life and so much whatever. If everyone was wearing this at a rave, you wouldn't need the lighting and all that stuff, because you'd be basically these big glowing yellows and pinks and greens and what have you on the floor. It's just so bright, so happy. It is the perfect fragrance to go for a rave, to, you know, chillax in and just shake it about a bit, you know. That's all I need to say. I'm not waffling on for the sake of it with this. It's just the biggest, brightest, most enjoyable, wonderful mimosa fragrance, kind of mimosa solar fragrance ever. It's amazing. Ray-flection from Masque Milano. Next is we're going down a similar theme of the toll days. Back when we used to go out, you know, clubbing and stuff, all these kind of big sweet ones about. There was Dupe, there was Lamal. We're looking later on in the decade here, we're not talking kind of you know, when these first came out. And then there was Burberry Touch. Now Burberry Touch has changed its kind of wear for me, but when it first came out it was a lot bigger, a lot more than what it is now. It's still a big fragrance, but the sweetness was quite explosive, and it's kind of a sweet violet leaf with violet. There's definitely violet flower in it, and a white pepperiness which gives it this kind of, pumps it out a bit, and that mixes with the cedar which gives you the pencil shavings kind of feel to it. But it's the sweetness was just going to get you noticed. It's just the most delicious kind of, the way it smells is the colour of a Parma violet. Doesn't smell like a Parma violet, but you know, that kind of bluey purple, not quite there. That's how it smells. And it's just, again, it's big, it's bombastic, it takes you back in time. This is one you could still wear now, and people are going, oh, you smell sweet and fun, as you're giving it, you know, dancing about to the Backstreet Boys back in the day and that sort of thing. It was a magnificent fragrance. So that is Burberry's Touch. Okay, well, next we're going to go for a kind of twosome, if you like. First up is one I absolutely hate, but it is one that smelt of the clubs back in the day a bit. That's Paco Rabanne's Lady Million. Now this one is, I don't know when this came out. I wanted to say around 2010, give or take. But it's basically, it's like this very synthetic so-called raspberry, like a raspberry hairspray, mixed with all these floral hairspray notes. Don't know why I do that for hairspray. These floral hairspray notes. And it's kind of, it was a lot like what was popular at the time. There's a lot of kind of hairspray white florals, but the raspberry kind of makes this different. It's a little bit of, I suppose, a kind of sharp citrusness. Was an neroli in this as well, which probably added to the sharp kind of feel about it. And then it just gets ridiculously off the scale sweet. Still hairspray like. It's not any, but it does, again, it's smelling it takes you back to that kind of time. And again, this was kind of, you know, all the kind of pubs, the late night pubs were filled with this. I would say this was, you know, having a boogie till 12, 1 o'clock in a kind of pub setting, you know, where they'd have, like, you know, more chilled kind of music and stuff. It wasn't such a serious place, like a student night out, like a student union. It has that kind of vibe about it. A god-awful fragrance, but certainly a nostalgic one. And I'm sure people still wear it nowadays, a kind of going-outy one. And next is obviously its counterpart, 1 Million. I'm not going to lie, I can't say I smell a lot of the notes. I don't hate this one, but I kind of do. It's cinnamon is kind of your main thing, and it's got this kind of sweet syrupiness about it. What else is, you might get a bit of the patchouli, a kind of odd muskiness about it in there. It's not awful, it's not the worst I've ever smelled. It has a kind of furniture polish vibe about it, sweet furniture polish. It doesn't have, now interestingly I've got Lucky which has plumbing. It has a kind of sticky plummy sweetness about it with the furniture polish. Again, it's not a hate of mine, I don't mean to diss it. It's another one of them that was, you know, who am I to say? It was very popular, it still is. People loved it, it just wasn't my kind of jam. But again, this is that same kind of era. Every guy will be wearing it with their FC UK t-shirts and what was popular back then, I don't know. Stuff, what did people wear? Jeans, like we do nowadays. For men, not a lot's changed, as it's spiked up hair, kind of messy spiked up hair and all of that. You know, it was that kind of era. And again, a night out in a pub kind of, although no, men would wear half a bottle of this to every single occasion known to man, wouldn't they really? A funeral, a rave, an exam, you know, a date. Just wear it, clean the toilets. It's just, yeah, spray some 1 million in this gaudy, awful bottle. So that's 1 million, I think that's... I don't know why it's in this list, I don't love it, but it's alright. Paco Rabanne's 1 million. Next is, of course, the same era. Same night out, but I suppose it's kind of... It's not even our era, is it? It's slightly older than us. The kind of stereotypical uncle, dad, your mum's ex-boyfriend kind of fragrance. And that's Jean-Paul Gaultier's La Malle. It's iconic, isn't it? It was that kind of Francis Kurkdjian kind of doing a modern fougere, wasn't it? So it's your lavender mint with a ton of vanilla in it, basically. Everyone will know, the same as Dupont, everyone will know this iconic smell. It's not what it used to be, of course it's not, but that's just how it is. There are approximately, let me think about this, 7 or 8 trillion flankers to it, most of which aren't really flankers, they just smell exactly the same but they're in a different bottle. So it's managed to kind of linger on through the time. Like I say, it's maybe someone who's slightly older than ourselves, me, not ourselves, we're not all the same age, kind of thing, which doesn't make it bad. But it was just everywhere, wasn't it? And again, it's such an easy, joyous one. And even I went, well, I wore Ultra Mal, because Ultra... I could have picked Ultra Mal for this. Ultra Mal is 10 million times more obnoxious than La Malle. But I love it. And La Malle was always a big, sweet, kind of in-your-face fragrance, but it was never obnoxious. It was never too much. It was a good one. Of course, it's not what it is now. But again, this is taking you back to them good old days. This will be like a catch-up with old mates kind of fragrance, you know. That bit of nostalgia and what have you there. So that's La Malle from Jean-Paul Gaultier. And finally, if we're going to go with that one from that era, I suppose a similar kind of era and time is Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel. Now Coco Mademoiselle, it's the most famous, biggest, most pleasant probably of its type, of that frutuli. Massive, mega, brash, bright citruses. A huge patchouli, which is like a proper grainy, big, textured patchouli mixing with them citruses. There's other stuff in there, there's some rose, which you do kind of get sometimes. There's other florals in there, you know, a bit of musk and all of that. Chanel style kind of thing. But it's ultimately these big, massive fruits with the patchouli. Fills the room. This again was kind of someone in that day. Again, maybe just a little bit older. Sophisticated, sorted together, you know, like somebody who would kind of match the La Malle kind of thing going on, you know. Smartly dressed, probably just finished work, needed to let the hair down, sprayed a Coco Mademoiselle, you know, boss kind of vibes about it. Everyone could smell them, it's so pleasant, it does kind of draw you in. The original Coco Mademoiselle is too much for me, personally. don't think I've ever smelled the EDT, so I don't know, but the EDP, yeah, it's very big, very brash, very rounded and in your face kind of one. It's a great fragrance, so obviously we know what it is. Charlie, so from Chanel is Coco Mademoiselle. So it's just a little short, brief, fun video. Again, like I say, there's probably nobody with any plans for March. But if you do have a night out, these are really poor suggestions, aren't they, to be fair? What would you suggest for a... Charlie! And a big night out? What do you wear when you go out? What sort of events do you still go to? I mean, do people still have big parties and events nowadays? I don't know. You know, the world's going to end very soon, so we may as well make the most of it and have lots of parties and exciting times and that, hadn't we? Alright folks, thanks, bye.